My name is Peter Bruninger, and I'm proud again to be in the Audio Union room here at Rocky Mountain Audio Fest 2016, here with part of the team of the Audio Union. To my left is Frank Schröder. Hi, Frank.
Hi, Peter.
Hi, good morning to you.
Good morning to you, too.
To my right is Tom Kleinbeck. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Peter.
And again, over to my far right is Nick Kleinbeck. These guys have assembled the dream team of designers. And we're going to let each of them talk about the products they have here in the room. And then we're going to shoot a wonderful system shot of what does this all sound like. So here we go. We'll start with Frank. Franco, your tone arms are world renowned. And they're sitting on one of the hottest, coolest new turntables, the Dohmann turntable. We'll let the rest of the team talk more about the turntable. Tell us about what you brought here to the show with your outstanding tone arms.
Well, on the right hand side you have a CB carbon tone arm with a Lyra Atlas cartridge mounted to it. We've been using this for quite some time. Last year we were here with the same arm and kind of same assembly here, but whereas last year this arm was in a pre-production state, this is now a full production state, no longer a prototype version. Excuse the somewhat rough looks of the wiring in the background. The customer wanted a little connection box, and that's why that looks a little out of order. Nevertheless, the whole thing works very well. The arm on the left hand backside is labeled BA for broadcast arm, or short for what my wife's first name is. I'm sure she may appreciate that. But apart from that, that arm is supposed to allow users with vintage cartridges or modern cartridges with low compliance cards to take full advantage of those without having to resort to some additional weights placed on the head shell or something else to increase the effective mass. This arm is unusual in using a material that, while it's looking like wood, is after treatment reduced to its cell structure, very light, very stiff, inherent self-damping, and nice to look at.
Yeah, it's gorgeous. Last year it did not have the fit and finish that it does this year. It
Not
really,
quite.
yeah, it's real sharp. Very, very beautiful looking arm. No, what's the effective length of the arm?
282 millimeters, which is 11.2 inches,
Okay.
akin to what was a standard for many Japanese and studio broadcast arms at some point in time, like the Micro MAX 282 or some of the Audio-Technica broadcast arms. The long versions, while they have the designation 16 in it, etc., that always 16 inches refers to the total length and not the effective length.
Not the effective length.
12 usually meant that this was a shorter arm. So while this is not a full 12 inches, it's long enough to be mounted on, for instance, vintage decks with 16-inch platters, allowing you to play back transcription discs.
Oh,
and
yeah,
lacquers.
that's very cool. That's great. Well, thank you very much for being in the business and bringing such great music to life through your technology.
My
Thank you.
pleasure.
Thank you. Tom, tell us a little bit about the turntable, and then we'll walk down the row.
Well, we have the Helix 1 turntable here, which was recently nominated for an International Press Award. And then we have the Orpheus Phono Stage, which was also nominated for International Press Awards here at Rocky Mountain. And then we get the power supply for the Helix. And we have a CEC transport here. This is the TL3, and we brought the companion DAC with us. This DAC will play virtually any way you want. Then we have the Dionysus preamplifier, and it's connected to the Terry's amplifiers and Lyra speakers. All the cable here is the new version of the Zephyr, which is we call the Zephyr 2, which is a copper-silver hybrid, which has a number of the characteristics of the David series, but considerably more affordable.
And here's the speakers, folks, and here are the amplifiers. What's the model number again on the amplifier?
We don't put a model number on them, just the Terry's model.
Terry's model from Thrax. Well, thank you very much for the walkthrough. We're huge fans of David level cable. It just brings the music to life. It opens everything up, and it's our reference cable currently for AV showrooms. So Thank you for being in the business, and let's do some listening, okay?
You bet, Peter.
Okay, thank you. Okay, here we go. Audio Union. Well, congratulations. That was the best that track has sounded this year at Rocky Mountain 2016. I heard detail in that track through your system that I have yet to hear at the show this year. I know that track like the back of my hand, and it was reproduced with such beautiful aplomb and such exquisite detail. When the bass clarinet came in, I just, the goosebumps. And as they sometimes say, I was talking to a German friend of mine the other day, he says, gooseflesh was all over my arms. It was simply stunning. I think that the system is one of the quietest systems I've ever heard at a show. The noise floor in this room, as you can hear, it's fairly low. We have the air conditioner turned off. I attribute that to the tone arm and the turntable. I mean, that's the front end, and that's the source, and that's where the noise is going to be introduced. And I got to hand it to you, Frank, for making such an exquisite arm, and to the rest of the team, to Tom and to Nick for assembling a superb system this year. You guys, congratulations. Thank you very much.
Thanks for the praise.
Thank you.